Breastfeeding is commonly practiced in Nigeria.
Nigeria is a breastfeeding community. You find out that any woman that are put to bed will naturally breastfeed at one point or the other.
We started with exclusive breastfeeding rate of 2% in the 90s. And then we moved to 17%. And by 2007 or so, we moved back again to 13%. So it was fluctuating.
But what motivated Alive and Thrive to intervene in 2016?
Why is there the gap in the knowledge and the behavior? And that was the gap we saw and which we set out to address.
So, what did Alive and Thrive do differently?
Across all Alive and Thrive countries, we apply a simple 4-component framework: policy advocacy, IPC, which is interpersonal communication, community mobilization, mass communication, and strategic use of data.
The SBCC strategy stratified our audience and our targets, but more importantly, targeted the communities, which is why we introduced the Start Strong along with the Zero Water campaign. So the Start Strong was a brand that we expect to pass the message that when you start children on exclusive breastfeeding from birth up to when the child is 6 months old, you are starting the child on a very strong foundation.
How about working mothers? What policy was put in place to support them?
The state government has ensured the extension of maternity leave period, which has been increased from 3 months now to 6 months for working class mothers in the state. We have pushed for the creation of creches and lactation rooms in MDAs across the state. This is part of the government's efforts to promote exclusive breastfeeding practices.
Because of this nearby crèche, I can easily walk down. I can easily take permission from my work and I easily walk down here and breastfeed my baby, check on her and go back to work.
For breastfeeding to improve, the challenge posed by the marketing of breast milk substitute must be addressed.
The International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes aims to contribute to the provision of safe and adequate nutrition for the infants. Essentially, what the Breast Milk Substitute Code does is put in safeguards to check the sometimes aggressive, sometimes inappropriate marketing of breast milk substitutes because they have been shown to undermine exclusive breastfeeding.
Having the right policies in place is good, but not enough. Capacity building, training of healthcare workers, interpersonal communication, community mobilization was part of the overall Alive and Thrive strategy.
We have something like posters and flyers. The posters, we normally show them during our counseling and during our health talk. That's when they come for the ANC. As you can see, this is a poster that was given to us by the Alive and Thrive and is showing the 10 steps of benefit of exclusive breastfeeding.
Fathers are not left out. They have a role to play as well.
Decisions about breastfeeding in 30% of women had to be taken by the husbands. That showed to us that we needed also to target our messages at the husbands.
Key social and behavioral change communication messages were deployed in selected radio and television stations in 11 states, with that of home media like bus branding, tricycle branding, and internet playing critical roles.
I heard it in the radio, I read it in the Facebook, newspapers, I see it in the TV.
The whole idea of having mass communication is to reinforce what is happening within the communities.
How about data? There was improvement on that as well.
We studied our data, we disaggregated data to know, okay, which are the regions in the country would we have the problems.
We have also tried to ensure that there's some sort of measurement for the impact of what these interventions are having in the society. So we have ensured that there's use of data.
Has exclusive breastfeeding finally taken root in Nigeria? Where do we go from here?
So now that we're having multidimensional approach, multisectorial, multidimensional approaches then we are beginning to see results.
The woman who had triplets and exclusively breastfed those triplets, they had tremendous impact on the audience, and it challenged many mothers.
We are hopeful that we'll have adequate funding to ensure that this is scaled up to the entire Nigeria.
Sometimes you used to tell me, one day all this will pass, and here we are now. Look at the results.